Wednesday, everybody. This is Wednesday. It is Wednesday. Okay, I am glad that I could be here, and I had a little bit of a technical glitch this morning, so I am running a little bit late. And when I say technical glitch, I mean I made a big mess in my kitchen that I had to clean up before we could hang out together. So, just let me get a little bit more organized here. I want to show you guys something. You know, we talk about the benefits of keto and the benefits of using food as our medicine, and that's awesome. And it's so important. I cannot even begin to tell you what a huge difference it's made in my life and the lives of many other people that I know. But this morning, I want to give you a little bit of an example. If you are not using food as your medicine, if you are not making a point of keeping your body healthy by giving it good nutrition, I'm going to show you something that can happen, and it does happen to a lot of people. Now, you probably either know, or maybe you are someone who has high blood pressure. I've got to pull this there. Got to pull my mat back in so I can be comfy. If you have high blood pressure, why is it that you have high blood pressure? Well, let's go back to nature for just a second. I want you to think about everything that you know, every natural food that you know, and I want you to try and come up with one food that has both fat and sugar. Just one. Anybody? That's right. There isn't one. And there isn't one because nature is brilliant. And there is no need. Not only is there not a need to have sugar and fat in the same package, but it's very dangerous. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Now, just let me change things up here a little bit. Okay. This is a blood vessel, and things move along in that blood vessel with no problem. It's what it's designed to do. Now, this particular blood vessel is expanding and contracting all the time. It's very flexible. But when you do something to it that you shouldn't do, or that isn't good for you, that isn't good nutrition, something happens to everybody to varying degrees. So this is carbohydrates. That white powder in there, that is carbohydrates. And what happens when we add fat to the carbohydrates? Now, if there was a cap on there, the pressure inside that vessel would grow and grow and grow until it just couldn't move anymore. It can't flex anymore. It ends up doing damage. And that's what we're doing when we mix fat and carbs in our body. We're causing inflammation. We're causing inflammation in our blood vessels. We're causing inflammation in our whole body. So do you have joints that are stiff and sore? Do you have lower back problems? Do you have high blood pressure? Do you have type 2 diabetes? Good morning, Del. If you do what your body needs it to do for good nutrition, you're not going to have to worry about things overflowing like this. But if you don't, you just cannot know what is going to happen next. But I can guarantee you that whatever it is that happens next isn't going to be a good thing. So whether that's high blood pressure or a heart attack or irritable bowel syndrome or Crohn's disease or any other inflammatory situation that you have going on in your body, a good part of the reason why you have that going on in your body is because of your diet. Now, there can definitely be some genetic things going on there that we're not in control of. There could be maybe some kind of inflammation from an injury or from an illness that you're dealing with. Those are different things. But when the inflammation is every day, you have a sore back every day. Now, I will tell you, I was on my feet kind of bent over a little bit for a good part of the day yesterday. My lower back, a little bit sore today, but not bad. So why is it only a little bit sore today and not horribly sore? Well, because of the diet that I eat. Because I do not mix carbohydrates and fat. There's no percentage in it. And you know, the only person that it affects when I do that is me. I'm the one that pays the price. I'm the one that can't do the things that I want to do. I'm the one that can't eat the things that I want to eat because I have an upset stomach or I'm bloated, or I'm the one that ultimately pays the price. Or you are if you're the one that eats it. So you need to make a decision. And the only person that can make that decision is you. And everyone around you needs to respect that decision regardless of what it is. Okay, so we are going to take our little blood vessel and we're going to set it aside. Now, I have got buttered rum sugar-free syrup in my coffee this morning, and I promise you it is delicious. Okay, onwards and upwards. We are going to boil, just let me give you a little bit of a peek here. We are going to boil 1/3 of a cup of water. That's all. Now, while we're doing that, we're going to get out our scale and we are going to weigh 7 grams of gelatin. Now, you can use a single package. If you buy, you can get Knox gelatin packages. So you would use one of these, which is 7 grams. Okay, we are going to, there we go. Whoops, that's a little bit too much. And we'll get a spoon and take, because you don't want too much. Many reasons for that. Not the least of which is there's no sense in wasting it. Now, gummy bears, there we go. That is 7. Perfect. Now, our water is boiling, our 1/3 of a cup of water. We are just going to sprinkle this gelatin in here and we are going to let it bloom. Now, if you want this to work well, you definitely want to let your gelatin bloom, and it needs to bloom for about 5 minutes. Okay. Sprinkle it in there. There we go. Now, the steam has definitely kept a little bit of it in the bowl. Now we're going to give it a stir. Oh, should have just left it alone. Now this is going to melt down into this boiling water. You know, I should know by now to leave this alone. I've done this often enough. Okay. Now, the only other thing, we're just going to leave that alone for a little bit. The only other thing that we need, other than gelatin and a little bit of water, is a package or 2 of sugar-free Jell-O. There we go. Lime. Love lime. Don't need the scale anymore because we're done with that for the moment. Just turn that back on. Okay, now I have 2 different kinds here today. We're going to use strawberry and we're going to use lime. Now you can start several different bowls at the same time. I don't, because if I did, I would just have to heat them up again anyway. So we're going to leave this gelatin blooming for a couple of minutes, and we are going to talk about strawberry gelatin for a minute, or lime, or cherry. Cherry is actually my favorite, but today we're doing strawberry. Sugar-free Jell-O has aspartame in it. I am not a fan of aspartame, which is why I don't eat cups and cups and cups of this, because I really do like Jell-O. Now you can make your own Jell-O. You can get your own flavorings to put in it, and you can make it just with gelatin powder. If you love to cook, do that. You can get the ingredients easily enough. Some raspberry powder, whatever flavors you're looking for. Or you can buy flavorings that do not have any sweetener in them at all, and you can sweeten it yourself to your own liking. So today we are going to use sugar-free Jell-O, understanding that there is aspartame in there. If you know of a brand that does not have aspartame, please let me know. Now the other thing that we're going to do, and this is 100% optional, the other thing that we're going to do is we are going to add 1/4 teaspoon of citric acid. That's going to give us sour gummies, and those are the ones that I really love. Now that's totally optional. If you don't like sour candies, you don't need to worry about doing that. Okay, this is pretty close to being where we want it to be. So why don't we add our Jell-O in here? I'm going to heat this up again. And we are just going to add this in here. And then we can start mixing it. And if you don't have gummy bear molds, you can get these super cheap on Amazon. There we go. Or if you have some other kind of a mold, do that, or pour it into a shallow cake pan and then cut it up afterwards. That is easy, easy. Okay, now we have our strawberry Jell-O in there. We're going to give that a stir. And we're going to add our 1/4 teaspoon of citric acid. Now you can also mix a little more citric acid if you want in with some sweetener and just put it on top. Okay, now we need to make sure that this is thoroughly melted, because otherwise you're going to have clumps of flavor, and that is not going to be a pleasant thing. So I'm just turning the heat on and off and making sure that everything is getting all melty in here. Okay, there we go. Takes only a second with these magnetic induction burners. You know, if you don't need a new stove, but you want to be able to enjoy magnetic induction when you're doing something like this, especially, you can go and pick up one of these little burners at your local Costco, or maybe even a supermarket, Walmart, I don't know, wherever. Or check on Amazon. You can get anything there. Okay. Now, we are getting pretty close. And I am going to just make sure this is mushed a little bit, because I really don't want lumps in here. Now, I don't know whether you guys can actually see how thick this is, but it really is very thick. And that is exactly what we want. And just mush these little lumps in here. I guess I could have maybe had one package of this ready before we got together this morning, but I was busy cleaning up the vinegar that I spilled. And yes, that is what I did. I spilled vinegar in my kitchen because I was wanting to show you guys that blood vessel thingamadooey. Okay, I think we are good to go. Now, when you order your gummy bear molds, if you order some, they will come with a little eyedropper. Now, if you choose not to, just if you have an eyedropper at home, you got one from the pharmacy that you didn't use for whatever reason, just use that. Or if you're very careful, you can definitely pour it in the whatever mold. If you're doing this in a cake pan, you don't need to worry about having a mold at all. And these are, when they cool, they are just going to pop right out of here. And you are going to have a sugar-free, almost no carb. Well, they are no carb. They have a little bit of protein in them. Gelatin is made from beef, typically. So if you are vegan, this may not be your kettle of fish, but if you're vegan, you are going to struggle more than many people to do keto, because a lot of the vitamins and nutrients that we need, we get from meat or from meat products, eggs, cheese, or whatever kind of fat we're using. And the essential amino acids that we need come from protein, that's typically meat, and the essential fatty acids that we need come from fat that typically comes from animal products. Now you can see this is a little bit finicky to do. It's not hard by any stretch. And you just do this as many times as you need to fill up the gummy bear molds. And these, once they're cold, they are just going to pop right out of here. And you can do several flavors. Put them all in an airtight container in the fridge. They're going to keep for eons. So 2-3 weeks easily. I mean, there's nothing in here to go bad. It's water and gelatin. So, I mean, I would imagine they're probably going to get stale after a while. They don't last that long in my house, so I can't really tell you about that. Okay, now you can see if you try pouring it, it's a little harder to hit the mark, but it's doable. So it depends, how finicky do you want to be. Now, when you're done with these, put them in the fridge, let them set up. Now, the other thing about doing it this way, well, either way, doesn't matter, but you really do need to scrape the pan, because this is so thick that it sticks to the inside of the pan. Now, if you're doing a bigger batch and it starts setting up in the pan, don't worry about it. Just turn the heat back on underneath it, or leave the heat turned on as low as you can possibly get it turned on. Now we're just going to scrape this down and fill a couple more of these. I know this is exciting, watching me fill these gummy bear molds, isn't it? But if you are traveling and you need snacks when you travel, or if you are just having one of those weeks where you feel like you need something a little bit snacky, or you want to take something in your lunch, or you want to send something in your kids' lunch. Now that doesn't make a lot of gummy bears. I mean, that's a full package of strawberry jello and a package of gelatin, and it isn't making a lot of gummy bears, but it is going to be a nice snack. So you can do this for your kids to take to school in their lunch. And when you are done, you can set the whole sheet pan, or you can just set one mold in the freezer, and in a few minutes, in a very few minutes, you will have gummy bears. Oh, let me get this in here. Okay, so that is one, easy peasy to do 2 or 3 or 10, whatever it is that works for you. And today I am absolutely going to be making a few of these. I want to have a nice size container in my freezer, in my fridge, so that I have something to snack on. So should I choose to snack? And the last little while, I have been struggling with snack gremlins. So, you know, it's something that I need to deal with. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing keto. It doesn't matter how experienced you are. It doesn't matter how many things you know about it, how many recipes you have. Keto is not a weight loss diet. It never has been a weight loss diet. Keto is a good way to nourish a human body. And if you nourish it too much, you will stop losing or you will start gaining. And in the last little while, I have gained a little bit. And I'm not going to let that continue. So I need to get serious. Do you need to get serious? The only person that you can make a decision for is you. So, best thing you can do, get rid of the processed foods. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's salami or mayonnaise or salad dressing or candy bars, or it doesn't matter what it is. Make it yourself. Take the time to make it yourself. On Sunday, I need to tell you guys about Sunday. Sunday, I will not be in the kitchen. I will be in Innisfail, Alberta, at the Innisfail Farmers Market Christmas Market, and I will be there with TSL Organics gift baskets and all kinds of fun stuff. So if you need to stock your spice cupboards, stop down and see me. Saturday I am in Rimbey, Alberta, with more gift baskets, and Saturday and Sunday I have somebody going on Saturday for me. So if you are in Central Alberta and you would like to come and have a chat with me about keto or good nutrition or whatever it is that you would like to talk about, come and see me. Come and stock up on your spices so that you're ready for the Christmas season, and maybe help somebody else stock their spice cupboard as well. Everything that TSL Organics has, including the hot cocoa mix that I am really hoping I'm going to have time to get packaged before I go. I have my recipes, I just need to get them put together. Everything that I have is organic, grain-free, gluten-free, sugar-free, filler-free, and no MSG ever. It is good, healthy food to help support you on your keto journey. And on that note, this has not been a terribly long visit this morning, but I am going to say goodbye and let you get back to your day, and I do apologize for being late. If you have questions about keto, if you have questions about weight loss, if you have questions about organic spices, if you have questions for me, please ask them. And if someone else that you know can benefit from the time that we spend together, please send them a link to this video. And click on like and subscribe and all of the things, and so that we can hang out here 3 times a week, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Sunday and Wednesday at 10 a.m. Mountain, Fridays at noon. Now this Friday as well, it's going to be a little bit iffy because I will be in Lacombe, Alberta. I'm all over the place this weekend. It is Christmas season, so I will still be here. I have an alarm set. My time with you is very precious to me, so I'm not going to miss that. I want all of you to have an amazing day. Do your very best to live your best version of this shining life. That's what I'm going to do. So you guys have a wonderful Wednesday, and I will see you on Friday at noon and on Sunday at 10 a.m. Have a great week.